Some people think they can throw thorns in your path and walk away untouched, but life doesn't forget. The universe has a memory sharper than steel, and when the wheel turns, as it always does, it crushes the very hands that tried to sabotage your rise. That's the irony of cosmic balance. The ones who want to see you fall always end up slipping on the traps they set for you. You see, life isn't random, it's precise. It balances every action, every choice. No one escapes the ripple effect, not the silent doubters, not the loud haters. Even when they laugh, even when they hide behind fake smiles and tighter circles, the energy they push out eventually finds its way back home. And here's what they'll never understand. Their resistance didn't stop you, it shaped you. Their whispers sharpened your focus. Their envy carved out your purpose. Every attempt to delay you became fuel for the breakthrough they'll soon be forced to watch from the sidelines. The truth: being chosen isn't about comfort. It's about pressure, pain, and power. It's about walking through fire and coming out gold. And that glow, it blinds your enemies. It haunts them at night, eats at their silence. You become a reminder of everything they couldn't break. So, to the one watching this, you're not just surviving, you're transforming. Every setback was a setup, every delay was design, and the same force that held you together is the one pulling you forward now. Let them mock, let them plot. The universe keeps score. Now that you understand the game they tried to play, let's talk about what comes next. This is your season of elevation, and nothing can stop what's already in motion. The very people who hoped you'd crumble will soon have no choice but to witness your rise in silence. Keep your focus sharp, your energy clean, and your steps intentional. Remember, their attacks weren't setbacks. They were spotlights. You were never meant to blend in. You were made to break patterns and shatter limits. If that fire just lit something in you, like, subscribe, and stay locked in. This journey has only begun. Number 1. Stop that secret sin before it steals your life and destiny. You already know the truth, even if no one's ever said it out loud. The things you hide are the things that hurt you most. It's never the storm outside that sinks the ship. It's the water that slowly leaks in, the silence, the secret weight you pretend isn't there. That one habit, that one hidden thing you keep brushing under the rug. It's not harmless, it's not small, it's not just part of life. It's the crack in your foundation that'll collapse everything if you don't face it now. People don't ruin their lives in a day. They do it in tiny pieces, a little compromise here, adjust this once there, a private behavior that feels like a release but feeds a silent monster. The kind of thing no one sees, but it eats your peace, your confidence, your focus. And worst of all, it steals your momentum before you even realize you were gaining any. There's a quiet danger in what's familiar. Just because you've lived with it this long doesn't mean it belongs with you. Some habits don't just slow you down, they reroute your entire life toward places you were never meant to go. And here's the wildest part. The very thing that's draining you might be the one thing you're most afraid to let go of. That's no coincidence. That's how it works. The most dangerous chains don't look like chains. They feel comfortable, personal, necessary. But make no mistake, just because you've learned to function with it doesn't mean you're free. The truth is, what you allow in secret eventually leaks into your future. You can't build greatness on a rotting floor. You can't move toward your destiny while dragging something that was never supposed to come with you. And you definitely can't expect peace while feeding the chaos behind closed doors. Let me say this straight. If it's costing you your clarity, your energy, your sense of self, it's too expensive. Whatever that thing is, the habit, the impulse, the cycle, it's robbing you, quietly, cleverly, but completely. And if you don't kill it, it will eventually kill your chances. So this is your wake-up call. Your future self is begging you to stop. Because here's the twist. When you let it go, everything starts aligning. Opportunities show up. You think clearer. You move faster. People around you feel the shift, even if they don't know what changed. It's not magic. It's release. You don't need to announce it. Just act. Quiet power is the most lethal. This is how your comeback begins. Not with a bang, but with a decision. A final one. Number 2. Don't be deceived. How to know if you're actually off God's path. The scariest thing isn't falling off track. It's walking confidently in the wrong direction and not even knowing it. Deception doesn't wear a mask. It wears comfort, familiar routines, things that feel right, but keep leading you in circles. One of the most dangerous places to be is stuck in a version of life that looks right from the outside, but on the inside, you're drifting, slowly, quietly, away from who you were meant to be. Being lost doesn't always feel like being lost. Sometimes you're praised, sometimes you're productive, sometimes you're surrounded by people who say you're doing great, when deep down you feel something is off, but you ignore it. That's not just doubt. That's alignment breaking. That's your path signaling you're not supposed to be here. Chosen ones don't get to live like everyone else. You carry too much. You were built for too much. So when you take a detour, it costs more. The wrong turn hits harder, and the fake version of your purpose will never satisfy you, no matter how dressed up it looks. The deception is subtle, because if it was obvious, you'd never fall for it. It's the dream you lowered your standards for, the routine you settled into, the people you kept around out of fear, not purpose. It all feels okay, but okay is the enemy of greatness. The test of alignment isn't how things look, it's how they feel in the deep. If something inside you keeps going numb, if your ambition is shrinking instead of growing, if you feel more tired than inspired, it's time to check your direction. You might be on track, but is it your track? Life has a way of tapping chosen ones on the shoulder when they've gone off course. But if you ignore the tap long enough, the tap becomes pressure, the pressure becomes pain. And by the time the wake-up call hits, you'll have wasted years on a path that was never yours to walk. This is your moment to reroute. You're not behind, you're just being called higher. Don't wait for the storm to turn you around. Read the wind now, because the chosen don't wander forever. They rise. Number 3. Expose the trap Satan set that you've been calling normal. Some traps don't look like danger. They look like comfort, familiarity, even success. You've been calling it just life, just the way things are. But let's be real. Deep down, something inside you knows it's not normal. It's a slow burn, a quiet poison, a routine dressed up as reality. The worst kind of trap is the one you defend, the one you've grown attached to. It doesn't chase you. It waits. It feeds you just enough ease to keep you from noticing it's draining your fire. And that's what makes it dangerous. The world doesn't always attack you head-on. Sometimes it softly seduces you into routines that numb your clarity and kill your momentum. What if I told you that thing you've accepted as just how it is was actually planted to pull you off track? Think about it. The way you always say, "I'll deal with it later." The way you brush off your own boundaries. That circle of people who drain your energy but stay close because they mean well. That content you scroll past every day that shapes your thoughts more than you realize. None of this is random. None of it is harmless. If you're a chosen one, marked for something greater, you don't get to live like the rest. You weren't built for background noise. You weren't wired for autopilot. That inner voice, the one tugging at you when you're just vibing through your day, that's not guilt. That's your higher self screaming from the inside. Wake up. This isn't where we're supposed to stay. Because here's the raw truth. They want you stuck. Not broken, not destroyed. Just stuck. Because stuck looks normal. Stuck looks calm. Stuck is silent. And silent people don't shake systems. So here's what you do. Start questioning the things you've stopped noticing. Peel back the mask on normal. Look your comfort zone in the eye and ask what it's really costing you. Because the moment you see the trap, it loses its power. And when you step out of it, everything around you shifts. The chosen don't wait to be freed. They break their own chains. Number 4. Break free from the little things that are silently killing you. They never come for you head on. Not at first. The real damage doesn't arrive as a crash. It seeps in as a whisper. It's the little things, the ones that feel too small to matter, the casual thoughts, the harmless habits, the just-for-today choices you never question because they don't explode. They erode. Slowly, quietly, like water dripping on stone until the whole surface is worn down. You want to know how the strong fall? Not by being hit hard, but by being poked gently every day until their strength forgets what it used to be. You, the chosen one, weren't taken out by a giant. You're being drained by shadows you allowed to stay. Maybe it's the constant comparison that happens when you scroll. Maybe it's the overthinking you never call out. Maybe it's the people you keep around because they mean well, even though their energy makes you question your own worth every time you're with them. Little things, but they add up. They delay your progress. They drain your clarity. They create static in your soul so you can't hear the signals that were guiding you. And the worst part? Most people never notice until it's too late. Let's be clear, these small compromises are not minor. They are precision weapons, custom-made to feel like nothing while they dismantle everything. You're not just tired, you're being robbed. You're not just in a phase. You're under attack disguised as routine. This isn't paranoia, it's pattern recognition. You were never built to be average. So why tolerate anything that turns down your volume, that dulls your edge, that dims your fire? Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. The longer you let the little things slide, the bigger their consequences become. What feels like survival today becomes sabotage tomorrow. Chosen ones don't rise by doing what's easy. They rise by doing what's necessary, even when it's subtle, especially when it's subtle. Cut the noise, cancel the narrative, kill the comfort, because nothing is more dangerous than the enemy you think is too small to fight. Number 5. Purge the poison. Why sexual sin cuts your connection with God. Let's stop pretending this one doesn't matter. The truth is, out of everything that weakens you, this is the one that cuts the deepest. Not because it's obvious, but because it disguises itself as desire, connection, freedom. But it's not freedom. It's a trap wrapped in pleasure. Every time you give in to that secret craving, the one that only surfaces when you're alone, when no one's watching, you're not just giving a piece of yourself away. You're disconnecting from your core, from your purpose, from the part of you that's built to lead, to create, to evolve. Think about it. How many times have you walked away from it feeling stronger, wiser, more in control? Exactly. It's the illusion of relief, a moment that promises everything, but slowly eats away at your clarity, your confidence, your peace. It doesn't just affect your body, it poisons your energy, your focus, your drive. People don't talk about this part because it's private, because it's normal, because society sells it as harmless. But the truth is, the most dangerous poisons are the ones you sip willingly, never realizing they're slowly silencing the best parts of you. You're not here to live in cycles. You're not here to lose time, motivation, or self-worth to habits that leave you emptier than they found you. You're chosen, set apart. And the more chosen you are, the more precise the traps become. That's why this matters. You can't build legacy with one foot in the fire. You can't become unshakable while giving your power away behind closed doors. This isn't about shame. This is about your power. Because when you finally cut that cord, when you choose discipline over impulse, purpose over pleasure, you don't just gain control, you become unstoppable. And those who once saw you as predictable, they won't even recognize the version of you that rises next. So purge the poison before it becomes your pattern. You weren't made for hidden weakness. You were made to walk like thunder. Number 6. Stop mocking God. How repeated sin turns favor into judgment. There's a difference between falling and choosing to stay on the ground. Everyone slips. But not everyone decides to build a house in the mud, call it normal, and dare the universe to say something about it. Some people live like consequences are optional, like the rules don't apply to them. They dance with the same darkness over and over, thinking their charm, their status, or their timing will keep the scales from tipping. But here's the reality. Life has a ledger, and it's more accurate than any system you've ever seen. Keep pushing against it, and one day, without warning, the weight comes crashing back. There is no luck for those who live in patterns that betray their potential. There is no lasting peace when you repeat the very thing you swore you were done with. And the truth? The longer you play with fire, the less warning you get before the burn. You think you're the exception, that the damage won't reach you. That's the lie the cycle tells you while it steals everything behind your back. Your clarity, your peace, your favor, your momentum. Here's what they don't tell you. When you're chosen, you're held to a higher standard. The universe doesn't ignore your actions, it magnifies the response. That's not punishment, that's pressure. The kind of pressure meant to shape you into someone who leads, who rises, who doesn't break like the rest. But when you reject that pressure, when you keep repeating what's breaking you, you forfeit the access that was meant to lift you. And those who once stood in grace slowly find themselves stuck in resistance. Not because they're cursed, but because they kept saying one more time long after the warning signs stopped being subtle. So ask yourself, what are you repeating that's already cost you more than you admit? What are you doing in silence that would break you if it went public? Let this be your line in the sand, because when you're chosen, what you get away with is temporary, but what you lose for staying there could echo for a lifetime. Number 7. Identify the one compromise blocking your breakthroughs. There's always that one thing. The compromise you've convinced yourself is not a big deal, the little exception, the quiet habit, the back door you left open because discipline was too loud that day. It doesn't scream, it whispers. But that whisper, It's enough to keep the doors of opportunity locked and the ceiling over your growth sealed shut. Chosen ones don't fall from cliffs. They trip on pebbles. It's not the loud failures that ruin them. It's the soft concessions. The just this once that happens too many times. The shortcut that ends up taking longer. The habit they defend while wondering why nothing ever fully works out. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the one thing that makes you feel off, the thing you keep tucked under, "I'll fix this later." But here's the harsh truth. Later already cost you too much. Time, momentum, clarity, respect, gone bit by bit. And the worst part, the moment you compromise, life doesn't scream at you. It stays silent. And that silence tricks you into thinking there won't be consequences. But chosen ones don't get away with what average people can. You weren't made to live in cycles. You were made to break them. So here's the challenge. Look at your life like a map. Where do the patterns keep repeating? What keeps draining your energy, slowing your progress, making you feel stuck, no matter how hard you push? That's not random. That's the compromise. It could be how you speak to yourself, what you tolerate from others, what you consume in silence, what you choose when no one's watching. But it's there, and it's building walls you were born to walk through. Rip it out, call it by name, and cut it off like it's stealing air from your lungs, because it is. Every time you say no to that one compromise, life rearranges itself in your favor. Your clarity sharpens, your value multiplies, and your enemies, they feel it. They know the version of you that stopped settling is the one they can't touch. This isn't about perfection, it's about power. And the ones who reclaim it are the ones who rise. Number 8. Shatter the generational curse by ending the cycle today. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when you realize this isn't just about you. You weren't born into your family by accident. The pain, the patterns, the silence, they didn't start with you, but they can end with you. Cycles don't break themselves. Someone has to stand up, even while shaking, and say, it stops here. Maybe it's the rage that passes down like a family heirloom. Maybe it's the silence, the fear of speaking truth. Maybe it's addiction, secrecy, shame, emotional neglect. The kind of wounds that get passed down, not through genetics, but through repetition, through watching, through copying what we never questioned. The hardest prison to break out of is the one you were raised in. And here's the truth they won't say out loud. Some people want you to repeat the cycle. Misery loves company. Some would rather you stay small, controlled, compliant, just like the ones before you. But you weren't built for that. You were made to be the interruption. Every time you choose discipline over impulse, peace over chaos, healing over blame, you're not just helping yourself. You're rewriting the future for everyone who comes after you. You're burning down an old house of pain to build something unrecognizable. Freedom. This is what haunts the ones who tried to bury you in old blueprints. You weren't designed to repeat their ending. You were born to flip the script. And don't expect applause for this. The people most wounded by the cycle may try to keep it alive in you, but that's how you'll know you're doing it right. Breaking cycles makes noise. It shakes foundations. It forces people to see their own reflection in your decision to walk away. You're not cursed. You're chosen. You're the storm they didn't see coming. And when you shatter what they swore would never break, you'll feel something few ever do. Peace without guilt, love without control, legacy without shame. This isn't rebellion, it's revolution. Quiet, powerful, permanent. End the cycle today. because the ones who come after you deserve to know what freedom feels like, and because you're strong enough to be the first to taste it. Number 9. Escape the enemy's grip with these 3 steps to total freedom. When the weight you've been dragging behind you stops being part of your story and starts becoming your cage, that's when the enemy, whatever name you've given it, doubt, addiction, distraction, fear, tightens its grip, not with force, but with comfort. It makes you believe the chains are jewelry. It tells you freedom is unrealistic. It lies, because that's all it can do. But you're not built to live on a leash. You're a chosen one, not chosen by people, trends, or approval, but chosen by force, by fire, by the way life tested you and didn't break you. You didn't make it this far to stay trapped in cycles that pretend to care about you while secretly draining the life out of your purpose. Here's what they won't tell you. Escaping isn't about one giant leap. It's about 3 brutal steps that most people are too afraid to take. But you're not most people. Step 1. Declare who you are, not in whispers, not in maybes. Stand in front of the mirror and say it like a weapon. I don't belong to this anymore. When you name it, you own it. When you own it, you can drop it. Step 2. Cut what feeds the problem. That playlist, that application, that friend, that habit. Whatever's giving your enemy power, starve it. Let it die gasping, not gently. Comfort is how the enemy negotiates its survival. Step 3. Surround yourself with power, not fake positivity. Real strength, structure, repetition, new rituals. Wake up earlier, change your environment. Listen to things that call out your greatness. Freedom isn't a feeling, it's a system you build daily. The enemy doesn't fear your noise, it fears your decision. The moment you step into this version of you, the one not chained, not apologizing, not hiding, they feel it. The haters, the doubters, the ones who smiled in your face hoping you'd never figure it out. And now they're watching you walk free. Let them watch, let them wonder, because when a chosen one breaks free, the whole universe adjusts. Number 10. Remember who you are. Activate your authority before it's too late. You weren't made to blend in. You weren't built to break under pressure. And you weren't chosen to play small so others could feel comfortable. Somewhere along the way, the noise of this world tried to mute the fire inside you, but it's still burning. That restlessness you feel, that's your real self knocking from the inside, ready to break out. You've been underestimated, not because you're weak, but because your presence threatens systems. You were never just another one. You are a disruptor, a cycle breaker, a force in motion. But if you forget that, if you shrink, second guess, or delay, it all falls apart. The worst kind of defeat isn't from failure, it's from forgetting who you are. This world is full of distractions, temptations, and silent attacks, but none of them can stop someone who's fully aware of their own power. You were built with precision, designed to walk through fire without burning, and when you stand in that truth, you don't just survive, you shift atmospheres. But here's the danger. The longer you sit in delay, the heavier it gets. That hesitation, that's how opportunities pass. That's how people lose years. That's how chosen ones get left behind. So activate now. Authority isn't something you wait for. It's something you step into. With your decisions, your focus, your discipline, your silence. The world doesn't need another loud voice. It needs your real power, active, aligned, and unshakable. Wake it up, take your place, or lose it forever. Number 11. Join the remnant, how to leave casual Christianity behind forever. They never saw you coming, and honestly, they still don't know what to make of you. You've been quiet, watching, unfolding, growing in silence while they mocked your pace. But the storm you carry doesn't need applause, it just needs precision. You were never made to blend in with the crowd. That ache inside you, that discomfort around the shallow, that frustration when others settle, it's not a flaw, it's a signal. You're not like them. You were never meant to be. This is the separation season. The fake will fade, the loud will burn out. But you're built different. While they played for claps, you prepared for legacy. You weren't made for casual, you were made for impact. The truth is, not everyone will make it to the next level, not because they couldn't, but because they wouldn't. They chose comfort, you chose calling. And that one decision just rewrote your future. There's a remnant rising right now, those who got tired of watered-down effort, empty habits, and double lives. They're not loud, they're not famous, but their focus, ruthless, their commitment, unshakable, their energy, untouchable. You're not late, you're right on time. This is your moment to rise, to leave behind what's average and align with what's unstoppable. The remnant doesn't beg to be seen. They're undeniable. They don't chase attention. They attract respect. So choose it fully. Burn the bridge to who you used to be. Let them wonder what happened to you. Number 12. Catch the final wave of mercy before the crash of judgment hits. A last moment before the fall, a quiet warning before the ground splits. And most people, they miss it. Not because they weren't told, but because they were too distracted, too comfortable, too numb to hear it. But not you. You're still here. And that means the wave hasn't passed. Yet. Look around. Systems are shaking, illusions are breaking, and the world isn't what it once was. Everything that's fake is collapsing. Everything real is rising. This is the shift. Some will call it chance, others will call it chaos. But you'll know it's the final alignment. This wave doesn't come with noise. It comes with clarity. One clean chance to get it right before everything flips. You don't outrun it. You don't outtalk it. You catch it or get caught in the crash. The ones who mocked you, they're already feeling the fallout. The ones who laughed when you chose discipline, silence, focus, watch them scramble to find what you've already secured. Peace, direction, fire. You are not like them. And you never were. This is your call. Leave the distractions, shut the noise, make the shift. It's not about being perfect, it's about being ready. The door isn't closing because of fear. It's closing because the next room is only for the ones who are done playing small. Don't blink, don't stall, don't wait for a sign. This is the sign. Catch the wave before it's gone. Because when the crash comes, there are only two kinds of people. Those who were watching and those who were already moving. Now that you've seen the truth laid out, there's no going back to who you were before. This wasn't just another message. It was a mirror, a wake-up call, a line in the sand. You're not here by accident. You were meant to hear this right now, before the shift becomes the storm. You've felt it deep in your gut that you're part of something greater. So stand up. Move different, think sharper, choose higher. Because from this point forward, average is no longer an option. If this hit your spirit, like, subscribe, and stay locked in. The next level is already calling your name.